For some strange reason, the war between weight classes always seems to spark up when the weather is getting warm. That's when halter tops and sundresses clash. That's also when the one-piece and G-strings collide. This occurs even in the winter. Yup, it's happening right now as I speak. Somewhere in someone's supermarket, two ladies is going at it over who was in line first. One is calling the other a skinny string bean, and one is calling the other a wannabe Medea. Sad but true, this been going on since the beginning of time, and Kara and Yana was no exception. Who is Kara and Yana, you may ask? Well, these two was your typical urban duo that got together and broke up every other day. Kara and Yana didn't grow up together, but when they were together, people thought they were childhood friends. Kara was more of the lover, whereas Yana was the cold-hearted fighter. Most of their fights they had was because of Yana. They both secretly hated each other for nonsense. Yana hated the fact that Kara worked and had a man in the house to help with everything. And Kara hated the fact that Yana was able to live free with no headaches from a man. They would constantly trade stories of how, if they had each other's lifestyles, what they would do and how they would be better off. Truth be told, Kara wouldn't make it in the street life, and Yana could never be a housewife. They both hated to admit, but they complimented each other. And this is the reason why they always gravitated back to one another. Not to mention the fact that Kara had a baby girl named Sina that Yana loved to death. Sina was the direct opposite of her mom, Kara. Where Kara was heavyset and robust, Sina was small and petite. There was plenty of times Yana used to tease Kara that Sina came out slim just like her. Yana didn't notice, but this was the reason why she loved Sina so much. It's because she reminded her of herself. There were times where Sina used to go to Yana's house when Kara couldn't get Sina to listen. This was the reason why they had a big fallout. One day Sina ran away to Yana's house, and Yana never told Kara her daughter's whereabouts. So when Kara found out Sina was at Yana's house the whole time, Kara lost it. Kara wasn't a fighter, but that day she turned into one. She fought Yana like a stranger in the streets, and the results was damaging. Yana took a big L that day, and she secretly never let it go. To Yana, fighting was okay, but to fight and have an attitude, it was unbelievable to her. Yana grew up fighting, so it was nothing to fight her friend and then talk after. But to Kara, it wasn't the same. So for 2 years, they didn't speak. They were so petty, they even blocked each other on all social media. Time to time, Yana used to lurk on Kara's page just to see updated pics of Sina. She missed Sina dearly, but Yana was too into her feelings and pride to break the ice. So to say it was a surprise for the duo to see each other at the beach almost 3 years later was an understatement. Yana couldn't believe how tall Sina had gotten. She couldn't believe it. Luckily, Yana was too far away for Sina to have seen her. Not much luck on Kara's end though. She spotted Yana as soon as they got to the beach, with her being the only one damn near naked with a neon orange bikini suit on. She hated the fact that her friend could fit her slim figure into anything she wanted. She couldn't bring herself to speak, but seeing Yana after all those years almost broke her down. But pride is strong, and we all know it always seems to win. So she made sure to go on the opposite side of the beach. Little did she know Yana wasn't having it. She wanted to see Sina more before she left the beach, so she turned into a spy and stayed close to Kara and Sina without being noticed. It was a good day with the weather being in the 80s and a nice light breeze that was welcoming. Yana was getting her tan on while listening to a music artist named Chinks Brinks on her iPhone. Kara was laid back in the sand tanning also, while Sina was playing in the water. Normally, her boyfriend would have been with her, but today he was stuck on a double. Kara figured Sina was 15 years old now, and she was big enough to play on her own in the water. Sadly mistaken. All in a New York minute, you heard screams from Sina far away in the water. By the time Kara realized what happened, Sina was way out in the water, way beyond Kara's reach. To make matters worse, Kara couldn't swim. Besides her being plus size, she was scared to death of the water. The moment Kara's motherly instincts kicked in, she thought about jumping in the water to save her daughter, until she looked up to see her longtime friend Yana jump in the water like a pro, and within 10 seconds retrieved Cena with a baby vest. As Yana was making her way back, she was taking in too much water, from Cena pulling her down from being scared. By the time Yana made it back to shore, she had lost breath and took in too much water. She lost consciousness and wasn't breathing. Kira jumped straight into action with her skills from being a nurse and performed CPR quickly. In the next 20 seconds, Kira worked at her mouth and chest, and before you knew it, Yana was spitting up the excess water she had swallowed. As Yana looked up in her friend's eyes, Kira looked down in hers, and in that moment they both realized that they both loved, needed, and complimented each other. Yana says, "You owe me one, Fatty Patty," and laughed. And then Kira responds, "Yeah, but we even, 'cause I saved you first, Skinny Minnie." They both boiled over in laughter while holding Cena in the middle of them. And that's when Cena told them, "Life can't be better. I got the best of both worlds."
When I pop up on your ass, guess what I came to do? I'ma knock her down when I see her. Yeah. She knew my pipe game off the meter. Yeah. Take her ass down, turn the heat up. Yeah. You know I make it hot, baby fever. Yeah. I'ma knock her down when I see her. Yeah. She knew my pipe game off the meter. Yeah. Take her ass down, turn the heat up. Yeah. You know I make it hot, baby fever. Yeah. Baby fever. Yeah. Baby fever. Yeah. You know I make it hot, baby fever. Yeah. Baby fever. Yeah. Baby fever. Yeah. You know I make it hot. Like, can a young trapper get money anymore? Let my brinks close, sell out of stores. Had 10 kids with 10 models on tour. Go buy a building and put them all on each floor. I'm just saying, they bash me for a way a nigga living. But if I wasn't doing this, then they say that I was finished. I'm a savage, so never will I let my heart up in it. This is only baby fever, you gotta know the difference. Lust over love, just know the right emotions. Before you go commit, you can't cause commotions. She wanna tie the knot, she wanna have my baby. Every time she see a newborn, she drive a nigga crazy. Now I'm feeling in the mood, baby fever in the blues. When I pop up on your ass, guess what I came to do? I'ma knock her down when I see her. She knew my pipe game off the meter. Take her ass down, turn the heat up. You know I make it hot, baby fever. I'ma knock her down when I see her. She knew my pipe game off the meter. Take her ass down, turn the heat up. You know I make it hot, baby fever. Baby fever, baby fever. You know I make it hot, baby fever. Baby fever, baby fever. You know I make it hot, baby fever. I'ma knock her down when I see her. She knew my pipe game off the meter. Take her ass down, turn the heat up. You know I make it hot, baby fever. I'ma knock her down.